أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد الفاتح الخاتم الناصر الهادي وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. وأنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا آمين يا رب. الحمد لله. تكلمنا البارحة وقبل البارحة عن الصوم، واليوم إن شاء الله تبارك وتعالى سنتكلم قليلا عن فرض أو ركن الزكاة. We discussed fasting yesterday and before yesterday, which is one of the pillars of Islam. Tonight we will be talking, inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala, a little bit about the pillar of zakah. We were supposed even to speak about it before fasting, because zakah, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala links it every single time with all the times He links it with salah. Whenever Allah tabarak wa ta'ala mentions salah, He most of the times mentions a zakah after it, right after it. That's why Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu tabarak wa ta'ala anhuma said that three things in the Quran are always put together. Whenever you see one, prepare to see the other right after it. Whenever Allah tabarak wa ta'ala says worship Allah alone, right after He will mention al-ihsan lil-walidayn, to be good to the parents. وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And whenever He mentions salah, right after He mentions zakah. الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. أقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة. And whenever Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala commands us to obey Him, right after He will command us to obey Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول ومن يطع الرسول فقد أطاع الله. So zakah is the third pillar of this deen. It is the third pillar of this deen. When zakat was made obligatory upon this ummah, the most authentic of all the sayings is that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala made it obligatory in Mecca. But that was a general zakat, general giving. As in Medina, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the nisab known in Medina in the second year of the Hijrah. That's why you will see people saying zakat was made fard in Medina, because the nisab was known, meaning the amount of money or cattle or wealth that one has to have to know they have to give, and this particular amount of money from it that was made known in Al-Madinatul Munawwara. Zakah is sadaqah, or sadaqah is zakah. Generally in Sharia, when we use the terminology zakah, it indicates the obligation, and sadaqah indicates the charity in general. But sometimes sadaqah can also indicate the obligation. For example, when Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala teaches us those who have right to take zakah, He calls it sadaqah. He said, إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ لِلْفُقَرَى. Sadaqah is for the fuqara. The fuqara are the needy, and wal-masakin, and the poor people. Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i, they have difference whether faqir is more poor or miskin. And both of them have their adilla in the Quran, but that's not the most important, because Quran calls the miskin the one who has nothing, who has his hands, who has dust in his hands because of poverty. يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا محمد أو مسكينا ذا متربة in Surah Al-Balad. أو مسكين ذا متربة. So miskin who has nothing. Here, miskin indicates somebody that has nothing. But in Surah Al-Kahf, Imam Shafi'i said, the masakin there, Allah says they own a boat. وَأَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ فَكَانَتْ لِمَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. Anyway, sadaqah is, or zakah is, for those who are fuqara and the masakin. وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا. Those who work on sadaqah. There was a time when you have people taking sadaqah from the people in order to bring it to Baytul Mal, in order to distribute it to the Muslims. They are called al-amilin alayha. Wal-mu'allafati qulubuhum. Al-mu'allafati qulubuhum. There are two types of mu'allafa qulub. A neighbor who's not a Muslim, and you give them from the zakah so that they know that Islam is about sharing and caring. That will make them want to know more about this thing. Study al-qulub. Or al-mu'allafati qulubuhum are the new Muslims, those who just arrived, because most likely these people have lack of support from their families and their friends. You want to know them, you want to let them know that we are your friends and we are your family. Al-mu'allafati qulubuhum. Wa fi riqab, somebody is in captivity, and they want to get themselves back, and they are asked to give money. They are in slavery, and they are asked to give money in order to be free. You help them get the money in order to be free from the zakah. These are called وَفِي الرِّقَابِ. وَالْغَارِمِينَ, somebody who is in debt. They are in debt and cannot afford to pay the debt. You help them pay the debt from the zakah. وَفِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, or anyone who is in the service of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. For example, those who are in the jihad, in the path of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and they have not enough means. For example, the Prophet ﷺ in Ghazwat al-Tabuk, Sayyidina Uthman participated. In many Ghazawat, the Sahaba participated. Anything that was in the service of Allah, the Sahaba, they would come and participate. Umar once came with half of his wealth, half of it. The Prophet ﷺ says, what did you leave for your family? Because what he brought was a lot. He said, I left half of it for them. Sayyidina Abu Bakr went home, and he took every single thing he had. Everything, a single thing. Nothing left for him. And he brought everything for the sake of Allah. We're not saying that we let's go and do that, because we are not Abu Bakr. But this teaches us. The Prophet ﷺ asked him, what did you leave for your family? He said, I left for them Allah and His Messenger. Allah and His Messenger. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was among the wealthiest people in Mecca. But he gave every single thing he had to the service of his ummah, the service of his deen, to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. وَتَبَتَّلْ إِلَيْهِ تَبْتِيلًا. That's what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says. Get yourself, cut yourself out of yourself to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Some ulama, they say, meaning you take yourself to worship. But if you do that, that means you are just going to worship. If you do worship in order to get reward, you're doing this for reward. You're doing it for Jannah, you're doing it for Jannah. You want to do it for any needs to be fulfilled or any problem to be solved, that's what you're looking for. But if you hear the word of Allah, tabattal ilayhi, meaning even the worship is not the goal. Even Jannah is not the goal. The goal is Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So the goal of Sayyidina Abu Bakr was Allah. The goal of the Sahaba was Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So any service in the way of Allah. That's why I encourage all of us to think about their masjid, their community, the community masjid when they give their zakah. You know, you have these masarif, these other ways to give zakat, but the community masjid doesn't have anything but what the Muslims do now. You know, in the old days we used to have Baytul Mal, which helped the masjid. Now the Baytul Mal is the pockets of the Muslims. So giving the sadaqah to the masjid helps the masjid. And you don't help the masjid, but you let your sadaqah help the masjid. Because the zakah you're giving is not yours. It is the right of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala on your wealth. You know? And even when you give it to the poor, you don't help them. Even the how do you call it? The voluntary sadaqah. The sadaqah tatawwa'iyah. You give something to a poor person just because it's a donation, it's a charity. You think you're doing them a favor? No, they are doing you a favor. Because they're helping you purify your wealth. They're helping you get to Jannah. They're helping you purify yourself. خُذْ مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ صَدَقَةً تُطَهِّرُهُم. This purifies you, first of all. وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. So the poor sometimes when they come to ask you, the masjid comes to ask you, the community comes to ask you, whoever comes to ask you, when you give them, don't have in mind, I am helping. I have in mind, I am being helped. This is a means for me to get closer to Allah, to get purified, to get Jannah, to get rewarded. That's how we should see things, not the other why. So, وَفِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ. Ibn Sabil is translated as al-musafir. One travels, they had some money with them maybe, but now they have nothing. Even though they are billionaires in their country, they have no access to that wealth. We can give them from the Sadaqah. And the Prophet ﷺ says, on the Yawm al-Qiyamati, everybody will be in the shade of their sadaqah. Everyone will be fi dhilli sadaqatihi. Before Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala makes the judgment, the sun will be so hot that nobody can bear it. But your sadaqah will protect you from the sun, said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he says sadaqah is burhan. Sadaqah is proof that one believes in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Why is it a proof? Why sadaqah is a proof that one believes in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? Because only you give what you want only for something you want more. Only to someone whom you want more. If I give my wealth because Allah said so, that means I love Allah more than the wealth I have. And the wealth is in our hearts. We love wealth. وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ, says Allah. وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. You love wealth so much. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يحسب أن ماله أخلده ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر المال والبنون زينة الحياة زين للناس حب شهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة لو كان لابن آدم واديان من مال لابتغى لهما ثالثا فلا يملأ جوف ابن آدم إلا التراب. If the son of Adam, said Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had two valleys of wealth, he would be working for a third. Nothing suffices the son of Adam but dust, only to die and be buried. So when we give it for the sake of Allah, that proves that we love Allah more than we love the wealth. As-sadaqah burhan. As-sadaqah tutfi'u ghadab ar-rabb. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that charity puts off the anger of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Allah wants to destroy the whole entire city. One gives a sadaqah, that can put the anger of Allah off, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So charity is something very important. Zakah is something very important. So we are inviting all of us to, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, be more generous, especially in this very month of Ramadan. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to be generous. And Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas says he used to be even more generous in Ramadan. When Jibreel comes and recites Quran with him, فَلَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ, says Ibn Abbas sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أَجْوَدُ مِنَ الرِّيحِ الْمُرْسَلَةِ. كان أجود الناس وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان حين يأتيه جبريل فيدارسه القرآن فلرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود من الريح المرسلة ولكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة. Allah says you have example in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in another hadith that the best charity, the best sadaqah is the sadaqah in Ramadan. Even the zakah you are giving, that's why many people make Ramadan the year they choose, the month they choose in the year to give their zakat. So give your zakat to your people who are even members of your family. You can give them part of your zakat. Your cousin, you know, the woman can give her zakat to his poor husband, but the husband cannot give zakat to their wives because you have to feed them. You cannot give zakat to your parents because you have to feed them. But you can give it to your brothers who are adult, or sisters if they are poor and adult. You can do that. And your cousins, your relatives, you know, the poorer people, your neighbors, people whom you know, al-aqrabu awla. So inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala, we wanna if we are going to talk about zakah and sadaqah, we're going to spend the whole night here, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. But most important thing is that we know how important it is to Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, because Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, makes a big wa'id for those who do not give. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن كثيرا من الأحبار والرهبان لا يأكلون أموال الناس بالباطل ويصدون عن سبيل الله والذين يكنزون الذهب والفضة ولا ينفقونها في سبيل الله فبشرهم بعذاب أليم يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتكوى بها جباههم. You know, if the poor comes to you or the needy comes to you and asks you and you say no before their very face, with your face, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala says fatukwa biha jibahu. And the Prophet explains that fire will be put on your face with an iron that is burnt with fire. Fatukwa biha jibahu. Wajunubum, for those who you know, sometimes they ask you see a poor, you say like this. Wajunubum. And wadhuhurum, those who turn their backs away from the poor, from the needy. So that's very, very, very scary wa'id from Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ says, you don't have anything from your wealth, but what you have eaten. And you have just worked, and you have just spent for the sake of Allah tabaraka. The rest of it is not your wealth. So we'll stop there, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. This coming Friday, bi'idhnillahi tabaraka wa ta'ala, we'll be finishing the khatm. It is one of the most likely to be the night of 27. Inshallah, we'll be finishing the Quran in Tarawih, and Salat al-Tasbih will be performed here, inshallah. We invite all the community to come early, breakfast with us, and again help and support the masjid. But you just don't want to wait until that night to say, oh, today is Laylatul Qadr. Consider every night to be the night of power and keep this dua with you. Keep repeating this dua. It's very short but very comprehensive. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. صلاة تفتح لنا بها أبواب العلوم والخيرات والرضا والتيسير وتغلق عنا بها أبواب الفتنة والفقر والجهل والكسل والنميمة والكبر والعجب والرياء والسمعة والحسد والبخل والجبن والبغي والتعسير وتكون لنا بها وليا ونصيرا. أنت ولينا مولانا فنعم المولى ونعم النصير. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.